wouldn't like to say that was the race of the day because we've already had some great racing, but every single race has been absolutely incredible today here at Fulbeck. Brilliant weather and brilliant track. The next race coming up is Jnr SM 140, where George Hopper stands on the pole position from Ryan Frost, Corey Tinker in third. Second row, Zach Shelton, Jack Worth and Marshall Richards. Row number 3, Bailey Harker, Iliam Quayle, Ben Watson. Fourth row, Jack Bell, Max Bartle, Joe Duggan. Then it's Kira Williamson, Harvey Smith, Lewis Jones, Jack Smith, Lissy Whitmore, Ash Barnes down to 18th position. Any moment now, we should be able to get this race underway with George Hopper on pole position. The flag is about to drop, and away they go. Oh, and a great start there for Ryan Frost. He absolutely charged away. I think that might have been Corey Tinker looped the bike out. But what a start there from Ryan Frost, already pulling away. One rider stationary on the main straight. But what a great move there from Ryan Frost. Absolutely charged from the grid like a bullet. George Hopper in second place. And there's a moment there, I think it was Corey Tinker looped the bike out on the start, was almost collected by one of the chasing riders, but gets away safely. Ash Barnes with a good start as well, but Ryan Frost absolutely charging down the straight and leads the way into the final few corners. George Hopper still in second place, not giving up. Oh, I don't know if somebody went down. Just see if the yellow flag's up there. The rider down just on the... that's Zach Shelton that's gone down. And Marshall Richardson, 2 of our top 10 riders, but both are okay and still in the race. Yellow flags here with one rider in trouble on the straight, but everyone else pretty much getting through safely.
I say this every week. I need to get fitter.
I don't...
Stuttering over words because I'm absolutely shattered, getting dry mouth and everything. But yeah, I think I need to get fitter, get back down the gym and do some working out. This is hard work.
Ryan Frost, then your race leader. And in all fairness, I think mathematics is very, very warm today, so certainly will be burning some calories.
Yeah, I feel like I'm working in a sauna at the moment.
Well, this...
Got nice air conditioning up here, though.
Air conditioning, I think it's just a basic fan, I think.
I think it's like more like a mouse blowing it through a straw.
Here comes the leaders then, as Ryan Frost, your race leader. George Hopper still there in second place and not giving up. You think there's one rider out of the race, Jack Worth, who's walking back down the straight now, looks a bit dejected, and is being told to make his way back because I think they might get the bike started after all. At the front though, Ryan Frost. Still there from George Hopper, shadowing in second place. The top 2 starting to break away now from Ash Barnes in third. Ben Watson, Bailey Harker, Corey Tinker, Max Bartle, Jack Bell, Kira Williamson and Iliam Quayle rounding up the top 10 with Chase Collymore, who we saw earlier. He's just on the edge of the top 10 there in 11th position.
It must be quite difficult for Chase because obviously he's out on the Bambino, which is a considerably smaller bike and a lot less power. To go from that to the Junior Supermoto 140 in the same day must be quite difficult because the braking position will be but the braking points will be different and the process power is different.
Let's have a look here. Number 25, Bailey Harker, who has a look down the inside of Ben Watson. Oh, but Watson was not going to give that one up and holds on to that position from Bailey Harker. Has to try again. Corey Tinker is just a little bit further behind. Ash Barnes looking strong in that third place and not too far behind the lead group of riders. Here, this is a great little battle here though between Ben Watson and Bailey Harker. Looks like Harker holding on, but Ben Watson not giving up.
And we've got a shout out for Joe Dugan at the moment. Joe is sat in 12th place at the moment, having a good old battle with Harvey Smith.
And here we see the battle with Ryan Frost, your race leader, just holding on from George Hopper in second place. Ben Watson still fighting with Bailey Harker, with number 8 Ash Barnes still looking strong in third place. But Ryan Frost being closed on under braking as they go through the bus stop chicane by George Hopper, who took pole position of course and is not giving up in second place. This race still far from over. And Hopper has a look down the inside, but Ryan Frost shutting the door as they make their way through the chicane. And once again though, George Hopper closing up.
Yeah, he's just lost the front end going to that right-hander.
So small mistake there from Ryan Frost, and George Hopper trying to take advantage as they go down the straight. Split by the back marker, Lissy Whitmore. So there's a waved yellow on the first corner, so Hopper has to hold back. The yellow flags go back in. Ryan Frost still leads the way. They're closing up on, I think that might be 28, I think the next rider down. That's Marshall Richardson, if we believe. So George Hopper, pole position. He's not giving up in this one, Matt, and definitely fastest lap of the race, incidentally, for George Hopper.
And just looking out the commentary box, there's a cracking battle at the moment between Max Bartle, Illiman Quayle and Jack Bell. They're battling for 7th place at the moment. We have Illiman Quayle sat in 7th with Max on his tails.
And that midfield battle just going through the bus stop chicane, very, very close indeed as the leaders make their way up into the hairpin. It looks like George Hopper has now taken the lead on the back of the circuit and trying to pull away. They're going to close up on the back markers and some of our midfield riders very shortly. But George Hopper leads the race. Ryan Frost not giving up in 2nd position. He knows he needs to get back through. But some of these midfield runners, Joe Duggan, Harvey Smith, Zach Shelton, Lewis Jones, are all a little bit further down the track, having their own.
And we have the VIPs and a helicopter leaving. That's Billy McConnell's sponsor, who just actually came down, his BSB sponsor, came down to have a look at the British mini bikes and see what we're all about.
So the Lancaster bomber really, now the helicopter, and from one of our spectators.
We've got it all here at the BMB, all of it. George, no, it's Chase Collingwood. I can just see out the commentary box, Chase Collingwood's looks like a problem or off. Yeah, he's hitting the bike. It looks like he's had a technical problem on the last corner.
So Chase Collymore seemingly out of the race. Meanwhile, at the front, the battle goes on as Ryan Frost has a look down the inside. Oh, out of nowhere, Ryan Frost takes the lead back from George Hopper. And I don't think George Hopper knew that Ryan Frost was coming. It looks like he's back in the lead, though. Outbreaks himself out of the final corner. This allows Ryan Frost to close up. This straight is going to be very important now as Hopper gets a good run out to the final corner, holds on to the lead. But Ryan Frost, lighter rider, of course, like a bullet down the straight, is going to have a look down the inside. But George Hopper's got the lead. And, well, it's very impressive arriving in the helicopter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Ryan Frost now really starting to put the pressure on the race leader, George Hopper. It's still Ash Barnes in 3rd place, albeit 16 seconds down. It's all about these two riders. Corey Tinker in 4th, Ben Watson, Bailey Harker, Illiam Quayle, Jack Bell. They're just going through the finish line now. Max Bartle and Kira Williamson rounding out the top 10. And a shout out here for Zach Shelton, who's through to 11th place of a 0-4, 48 seconds down. We might see him in a few moments though, because the leaders are starting to catch up on some of our midfield runners. And this, of course, is something that's interesting to take into account though, Matt, is we're saying the back marks, these guys now well and truly in the midfield. There we see number 0-4 actually, the machine of Zach Shelton.
Yeah, Zach Shelton sat in 11th place at the moment, so they're lapping all the way up to 10th place
11th
now.
place, so we're getting through to midfield runners now, and of course, you will want to let faster riders through. But if you're in a midfield battle, you've still got a race of your own that you want to take part in.
Yeah, but in the it's the responsibility of the faster rider to find their way around. It's not the responsibility of the slower rider to get out of their way. They've all got the race to run. So if you're a faster rider, you've got to get through. You've got to get through safely.
So we see George Hopper, and as we're saying there, Matt, he's got to find his way through these midfield runners. That's actually Max Bartle he's lapping now, who's in 8th place. So Max Bartle, still one of our top 10 contenders, and bulk now slightly for Ryan Frost as there we see Bartle just looks over his shoulder and allows Ryan Frost to go through into the bus stop chicane, and then now closing up on Jack Bell, number 93. So great pace here from these SM140 riders. They're lapping well into the top 10 now.
Yeah, with the lapping at the moment, George's last lap was 48.1, and let's have a quick look and see if we can find the times of the stop 160s. Bear with me. Yeah, George's last lap was 48.1 in the stock 140s. That would have put him 5th on the grid.
1 lap to go as George Hopper breaks away from Ryan Frost down the straight and closing up on another one of our top 10 riders. Here they come back towards the bus stop as George Hopper Still needs to keep that pressure up. That's number 46, Iliam Quayle. He goes down the inside of him. Quayle currently in 7th position.
Iliam Quayle, he comes over from the Isle of Man. He's the son of Milky Quayle, Richard, and he's actually the Isle of Man junior champion on pit bike racing with Motor Sicko. So it's great to see that Rich and Iliam take the chance to come and race at the BMB. They've done several rounds this season already, and it's obviously shows the pace in the BMB is a little bit higher. But I know that Iliam on the Isle of Man, he races a 125, and so the transition.
Of course, it's the race is finished, and George Hopper having to work really hard in this race to take the checkered flag, taking a well-deserved race win and actually pulling away from Ryan Frost at the end, winning the race by 2.1 seconds. We should be seeing Ash Barnes bringing it home in 3rd position from Corey Tinker, Ben Watson and Bailey Harker, the final rider to finish on the final lap in 6th place. Iliam Quayle's gone through in 7th, who we were just talking about there, the Isle of Man rider. He's through in 7th position. Here we go then for Jnr SM 140 in their final race of the day. 3 more races to go, and we start with Jnr SM 140. Flag drops and away they go, and a great start for Ryan Frost. Tries to get the jump on George Hopper into the first corner and coasts into that first corner way ahead of Hopper. It looks like Ash Barnes with a great start as well. They a bit tight in that first corner there, but everyone just about seems to get through. They go through the bus stop for the first time. Ryan Frost from George Hopper, Ash Barnes in 3rd place. Looks like Corey Tinker, good start for him. Zach Shelton, Jack Worth, Ben Watson, Max Bartle all in there on the edge of the top 10. Bailey Harker. Oh, there's trouble on the bus stop chicane on the first lap. Rider goes down, and here we see the medics walking over. That rider taking quite a nasty spill. And let's hope they can get that rider away from the track. We've got some waved yellows. I think they might have to send the riders, divert them past the chicane next time round, possibly.
And just out the comment box, the rider is up and walking away. Red flag, red flag.
So the race has been stopped. There was an incident on the bus stop chicane on the first lap. A rider really taking a nasty tumble. You might see in the foreground. Oh, somebody, that's not the red flag incident, that's unrelated. One or two riders tangling just when the flags came out, but I think, was that, well, try and confirm, that might have been Corey Tinker, or it's not, no. Remember, got black and orange leathers, the rider. He's up, he's stood up at the moment.
Yeah, that is Corey.
So Corey Tinker it was that went down, but he was receiving some medical treatment just on the edge of the chicane. So Amy Chambers says, I think this was in reference to the CRF 150s. Awesome race.
Yeah, you can't ask about that, can you?
Cracking race on the CRF 150s and the pit bike over.
I just love that little jump start by Lee at the beginning. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant.
So here we see the SM 140 riders just assembling just prior to the final corner. The riders being kept on the track and hope to be able to get the race restarted in just a few minutes' time. They're just making sure that the injured rider's okay. He's making his way to the medical car, where I think they will just... I think this could be a precaution, maybe just taking him down to the medical area just to check him out, make sure he's all right. He's holding his arm. So I think this will go through for a full restart for Jnr SM 140.
I was chatting to Lee in the paddock before I came up with that CRF 150 race, and the reason why he was out in a little mini pit 140 is he dropped some valve in that. His CRF 150 earlier on in the day. Yeah, it's funny. I like that.
So the injured rider we think could be Corey Tinker, possibly, just making his way back to the medical area. And the medics taking there. Of course, what the medics like to do sometimes is taking the rider back to the medical area. We saw him walking away and he was quite coherent talking to the medics, but they will just want to make sure that he's perfectly all right before they let him go. So this is always just the safety precaution that's well worth doing sometimes.
Yeah. And I've said it before today, but we've got the medical team, Mikey, and the team that we use are absolutely fantastic. They don't don't take any second guesses, and the rider's safety and the rider's health is their priority. And they do a fantastic job, absolutely fantastic job. Just search, they've got a Facebook page, search Race Med on Facebook, and you'll find them.
So the riders, they seem to be just gesticulating towards his arm, maybe. So a bit of a pain, perhaps in the arm, elbow. They're just not taking any chances, making sure that the rider's okay. So the remaining riders go back to the grid. This will be a full rerun of the Jnr SM 140. The red flag going out very early in the race after that incident on the first lap.
That wasn't Corey Tinker.
So it wasn't.
No, Corey's actually back on the grid. That must have been.
So there's two number 3s in the race, evidently.
Number 3s. That wasn't Corey Tinker.
Could be Lewis Jones, possibly. The other, there's an X.
No, I think it was it Jack Smith, the young lad who came up for an interview earlier on with.
I think we saw him earlier. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
So definitely not Corey Tinker. He's got similar overalls, actually. He also got the same coloured overalls, interestingly enough. So he is okay, and he'll be back in the race. Away we go. Oh, and Ryan Frost with a great jump on the start there once again. George Hopper left behind in second place, but holds on from Ash Barnes in third. They go through the first corner. And Ryan Frost with another fantastic jump on the rest of the field. Pulls away. Here they come down the straight into bus stop for the first time. Ryan Frost leads, so Hopper in second, Barnes third. Everyone seems to be through cleanly this time in this rerun. But once again, though, of course, Ryan Frost, relatively smaller rider, gets an absolute great jump on the field.
Chris Blowfield just come out from that veterans race. How did that go, mate?
Oh, it was an unbelievable race. I got fast at the start, tagged on behind the fast guys at the front, and Johnny B just let the back end go right in front of me. I had to come to a complete stop, and it was like, no! And I just seen everybody stream past me, and that was it. And it took like a red rag to a bull. I was like, I've got to go. Wow.
It was good.
Yeah, that was. I mean, there was nothing between us. I mean, when he took me coming into the chicane, I thought, I've got him here, and he just come up the inside. And it was like, wow.
Cheers, Chris. And we're back in the action now. George just taking Ryan into that final hairpin. Now coming to the complex past the pits.
So George Hopper has been the man on form today in this SM140, taking the fight to Ryan Frost. And once again, it looks like he's trying to establish himself at the front. But Ryan Frost, who gets those awesome starts using his lower weight to good effect, and he's still there, albeit 7/10 of a second down in second place. And one rider in a bit of trouble on the opening lap. That's Ben Watson. So Watson in trouble, but looks like he's back in the race, although way down the field. So Ben Watson, we think, is in last place and has got a bit of work to do. So Ben Watson goes down to 17th place. There's Ash Barnes battling with Corey Tinker. Corey Tinker on his tail in that 4th place, trying to get involved in this battle. So Ben Watson, he gets the shout out with a bit of work to do. He's down in 17th place, trying to fight back with the leaders. Here's the battle for third with Ash Barnes and Corey Tinker, and Tinker lining him up for a pass down the main straight.
I'm just surprised. I mean, Ash qualified in 19th, and he's managed to pick his way through now. He's actually in third, so what a fantastic race from Ash there. Coming right from the back of the grid up to the podium, 3rd place. Brilliant.
And Zach Shelton not too far behind in 5th place. They make their way through the bus stop. Zach Shelton, Bailey Harker, Jack Worth, Marshall Richardson, Iliam Quayle up to 9th place, gets past Jack Bell. At the front though, it's all between George Hopper and Ryan Frost. This battle for third though, Ash Barnes and Corey Tinker still very, very close in, as George Hopper tries to pull away now from Ryan Frost in 2nd place. They make their way down the straight. Here's the battle for third. Ash Barnes and Corey Tinker neck and neck down the straight, and Tinker trying to get close enough to go for an outbraking manoeuvre.
0.2 of a second between them.
Here they go into the top corner. George Hopper incidentally setting the fastest lap of the race, 47.848. That's very fast indeed, isn't it?
So quick. He would have been well up there with the senior classes. 47.8. That's lightning, absolute lightning.
I think we've got yellow flags. I think we may have lost, could have been Jack Worth possibly, dropping it around the back of the circuit. Well, that looks like Worth there on the side of the track, possibly.
He had problems in the first race as well. Yeah, he managed to, I think, get halfway down this race and the bike packed up on him.
So
He's not had a good day at the office today.
Ash Barnes and Corey Tinker still battling away in that third place. Here they come back towards us. And Corey Tinker has another look on the outside of Ash Barnes, but not really close enough to make the pass stick. And you wonder, perhaps, I guess, in later in the afternoon, perhaps the temperature's dropping ever so slightly. It's not.
It's not. I've just been outside. It is seriously hot out there.
So no chance of the lap times improving due to the temperature. So, of course, plenty of grip out there as well.
The thing is, when it's in temperature like this, I mean, obviously, it is still hot, but the track gets really, really greasy. And we're looking at the battle now for that's Bailey Harker and
So that's Marshall Richardson, I think, just behind him.
This is them battled for 6th and 7th.
And here we see now having a run down the inside. Corey Tinker has a look. But Ash Barnes holds on to that position. And there they go. So great battle there for that third place.
Looking back down the field, Ilian Quayle in 8th place, and a bit of a lonely race at the moment. He's been shadowed by Jack Bell.
So go on Zach, who's currently in 5th place. Zach Shelton, Bailey Harker then in 6th place with that battle with Marshall Richardson. But still, Corey Tinker scrapping away for that third place. George Hopper and Ryan Frost have just gone through past the finish line. But here is the battle of the third place. Ash Barnes guarding the apex as they come round the final corner. But Corey Tinker is right in the slipstream, goes down the inside into the first corner and looking to make the pass stick. Down the inside he goes, and what a move.
That was.
Corey
Really
Tinker.
clean move.
And he has to be brave there down the inside, Matt, because I don't think that Barnes is going to give way easily.
They would have just been looking at each other out of the corner of their eyes, seeing who's going to break first.
So a classic out-braking manoeuvre there from Corey Tinker to go through into third place.
And it just shows that these bikes are equally matched. I mean, both those bikes were absolutely flat out, and he could just neck and neck. The only reason why Corey managed to get past him, he's got in the slipstream and got alongside him, and you just saw that absolutely neck and neck up the straight. It's just Corey got the inside line, got on the brakes well, and made a clean pass.
So that very much a classic out-braking manoeuvre there, and it looks like Tinker has made the pass stick and is starting to pull away from Ash Barnes now. So after all that pressure, 2 laps to go, looks like Corey Tinker is really breaking away. Looks like Barnes was holding him up slightly.
I mean, Corey's usually he usually rides on the Mini GP, but he's really taken to this pit bike this weekend. I've not seen him race on a pit bike before. So he always races with the Mini GP UK guys. But he obviously got a bit of talent on the pit bike as well.
Final lap of the race coming up very shortly for our race day. There we go. Last lap board goes out for number 110, George Hopper, who goes down the inside of Max Bartle, who's 10th place rider, sorry, number 12. So
he just looks so measured.
Oh, we got trouble there. Now, who was that? Now, that might have been Corey. That's Corey Tinker. He's gone. He just slipped away, didn't he? Well, Corey Tinker walks away, but like you say, what a shame for the bike on the middle of the track. The marshals pushing that machine away. So he's just saying there, that's the commentator's curse, you might say, how well he was doing.
Yeah.
Bad luck for him. But just goes to show, like you're saying, how greasy this track is.
Yeah.
Very small mistake.
Really greasy. But if you look at George, his lap time's been so consistent, 48.2, 48.3, 48.2. And he managed to get past Ryan and...
Fantastic race there. So George Hopper wins the race, and very, very consistent riding indeed.
Yeah,
difficult track.
Absolutely, it's consistent. His lap times are 48.2, 48.3, 48.4. It's real consistent, and he managed to get past Ryan and got lap in 47.8, which is quickest, and he just got over the gap, and then he just maintained it. That's a really mature ride, and he's such a talent. He really is.